We need to love our nails when they're naked. That's right. We need to love our nails when they have nothing on them, when they are just as is. Because why? That's going to reveal everything about you internally. Your internal health is reflected on your nails. As we know, it's also reflected on our skin and our hair. That being said, let's look at how we can take care of our nails from the inside, because that's where it starts. Now, growing up, I was very fortunate to have really nice nails. Then later on in the years, there were times when my nails were not that great, usually during pregnancies and so forth, or after pregnancies usually. Post-baby, they would get a little, the hormones were trying to regroup themselves, so I'd get like weird nails. And then now in menopause, oh my gosh, a few years ago, I had terrible nails. I mean, terrible, painfully terrible nails. What I mean by that is they were so thin, I was ashamed of them. I couldn't even take them, I couldn't even put polish on them, okay? I'd go to put the fitted sheet on the bed and they would bend backwards. I would have them rip. It was horrific. I was in tears at times. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get my really nice nails again? Of course, we can always try those hardeners and biotin and all that. That doesn't work. Stuff does not work. You just need to eat right. So I've started getting really smart, and it's been a while now, but I eat really good protein. I have enough calcium in my diet and iron. When you have food internally that you're eating well, then your nails will be reflective of that. Trust me. I also went to school years ago to get my manicure license. I've always been in love with nails and nail polish and just nail care. So when I got my license and stuff, and I learned about the nails, I learned about the health of the nail. Now, if you look at the bottom of the base of the nail, right, this is the nail bed. This is your nail bed, where the middle part. The bottom part here is called your matrix, and all of that is where the nutrition is. This cuticle area that we have is like the little border. It's like you're going through the border. You need to get through that border to get to the body, so you need the nutrition. Anything you massage in through here will get to the internal part of your body, the internal, and then you'll get the nutrition. So you want to be very careful not to disrupt this barrier. What I mean by that is when you're taking care of pushing back your cuticles, you don't want to push hard. You want to be very gentle in the process. You want to roll them back. You can use a metal tool if you want. Sometimes there's tools with a rubber tip. You may prefer that. Either way, the process is very soft and it's very delicate. Believe it or not, it's effective. You wouldn't think that, thinking, oh, I need to get in there and get the cuticles. And for the love of God, don't do those cuticle trimmers that you roll around the edges. You will guarantee to cut your cuticles. You'll bleed. You'll think and it's swelling, and then you have inflammation, and you're basically breaking down the barrier where you can have good nutrition. It basically makes your nails destroyed. Okay, so don't do that. So also, I carry a file with me everywhere I go. I have one particular file that I recommend, and I did a little quick short video on it. This is the Beauty Secrets. I get this at Sally's. I love this. It is very smooth. The edges don't fray, and it takes care of the filing of your nails. When you file your nails, you want something soft. I had this in my hand a second ago. You probably saw it. It's an old file. These metal ones kind of destroy the edges. What I do though, when I'm doing my pedicures mostly, I'll take the edge of the file and I'll go under just to get that nick, that little corner that doesn't quite get it with this. So this is what I use just for those touch-uppies. But for the most part, this is the kind of file you want. There's other soft files. I've gotten these at the store like Target, Walmart. I think probably got these at Sally's. But the soft file is what you want. You really want to take good care and be gentle on your nails. The nail filing is basically, you want to go in one direction. So you're going, I don't hold my finger up when I file, but I'm just doing it for the sake of showing. You really do want to go in one direction, and then this over here to this direction. And then you can, obviously, you take the top and you're basically going to file off the way you want. The shape of your nail is up to you. I like what I guess you would call this squoval. It's basically it. Now, there's not a lot of length to all of them, but they're healthy. Let me tell you, I'm going to show you something. My nail, they're nails. They're nice and hard, and they're very much better than they've ever been. So when you file, you want soft. You go in one direction, you shape the way you want. You want to moisturize your nails when they're naked, of course, nothing on them. I mean, if you have nail polish, you can still must moisturize your cuticles. But you do want to get a very good moisturizer, or you could just use good old Vaseline. Vaseline is like the ultimate. It will definitely affect the cuticles. You just massage that on the front, and when you massage your cuticles, I don't want you to be delicate on that. That you can go to town. Take your thumb, which is the strongest appendage you have on your hand, okay? And you just push down on that cuticle till you feel it almost burning. And I don't mean you're hurting yourself. You're getting the blood circulating to that area, and that's going to also help with the nail growth, okay? You can clean your nails a little different than, or in addition to when you wash your hands or take a bath, you can take a soft nail brush and gently wash the top of your nails, but you're not scrubbing or scratching. And also, another little tip I forgot to tell you, when you're filing your nails, even though this is very, very soft, you don't want to do the top of the nail. We have made that mistake multiple times, ladies, and I think we've paid for it. That actually creates more ridges and imperfections in your nail. So what you want to do is you only file the edges. The top of the nail will take care of itself. If you're eating right and you're doing the moisturizing, you will be fine, trust me. So you can massage the top of the nails with a ointment. You can do the Vaseline. I've done olive oil, anything you want, and you can use a soft microfiber cloth and really get in there. But make sure that when you're massaging, like I said, feel the burn, because that's getting the blood to circulate. Just like when you do your gua sha and you get that red-pink color in your face, that means it's working. That's not going to harm your nail or your cuticle. That's actually really good for it, okay? So back to the cuticle real quick. I'm going to backtrack. I have this cuticle trimmer, which looks like a little pair of scissors, but basically I take it, and of course I have to set the spring up on it, and I put it between here, and I'm basically taking here, and I'm going, I mean, you can know how to use it, but basically you are clipping your cuticles on the edges from there, very gentle. It clips, 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 and it doesn't go around the edges and take the skin off and then cause bleeding, irritation, and then a whole nother mess. So you really don't want those. Okay, so the next step, so you clean your nails, you've got moisturizing. The moisturizing probably should be done when you're not going to do any color. But when you're ready to do the actual, we'll call it the makeup, just like you do really good skincare, you're ready for your makeup. When you do really good nail care, you're ready for the nail polish. I always like to use a base coat, 2 coats of color, and a top coat. And that's how I learned it back in school, and I think it still holds pretty true today. Now, I ran out of my base coat. I'm not going to lie, because I'm always telling you the truth, ladies. I'm using the Sally Hansen Diamond Strength Hardener. I used a hardener not to harden my nails. It doesn't hurt to use it, but I don't use it to make the nail stronger. I want to help hold it better, especially with the nail color. So I'm actually using it as my base coat too. You can do that. So you have your base coat here. You put the 2 coats of color. Pick a pretty color. Pick what you're in the mood for. I have tons of nail polish. To me, they're like bottles of paint. But ladies, we don't paint our nails, we polish our nails. So pick a pretty color. I'm in the mood for this one today. This is Gray Dreaming by Sally Hansen. Sometimes I'll take a few minutes to pick my color because, I work during the week. I have a uniform on, so I'm not worried about matching my outfit. But when you do to pick your color for going out, be sure that it matches. One thing that bothers me is when somebody has a whole outfit ensemble and then the nail color just doesn't go. Ladies, it's makeup. You don't wear the wrong lipstick with the wrong outfit, do you? So wear the right nail color to go with your outfit. So I think those are enough tips to at least get you started to having some really good nails. Remember again, let's review. You want to eat right, get enough protein, iron, and zinc too, I forgot to tell you. So protein, iron, and zinc, really important for just internal health, but especially your nails. Oh, and calcium. So when you're eating right and everything else is in place and you're cleaning your nails right, you're moisturizing, you're not hurting your cuticles, and you're using really good tools, it's not time to be too creative with the tools. Like I always say, with files, you want to be just basic and be gentle. You file your nails, then you wipe them dry, and then you do the base coat, 2 coats of color, and a really pretty color. And it's all balanced. And what do I say, ladies? When you have purpose, you have balance, you will have joy. Have fun doing your manicure, and I'll talk to you later. I'm back, ladies. You didn't think I wanted to not show you the finished product. These are the nails. Look how pretty. That color is gorgeous. Again, it's Gray Dreaming by Sally Hansen. Now, 2 or 3 little tips that I forgot to share with you that I kind of remembered now. This little orange stick is a Wonder Stick. It's great for obviously cleaning under the nails. They have the pointed edge. They also have the angled edge. The angled edge is supposed to be for pushing back the cuticles. Be careful because it's kind of a firm product. Just be gentle, like I said earlier. But for cleaning the sides of the nails, you have tons of these. You can buy boatloads of these for cheap. But you get this, and when your nails are not quite dry yet and you want to get the edge of that might have gotten on the skin, use that, wipe it on the tissue, and continue. You can clean the edges before the nail polish dries if you have the patience to do that. And a manicure actually is a process. And if you don't have the patience to let your nails dry thoroughly, you just might want to go to a salon. I'm sorry, but it's a process, and it takes patience, and it takes time and dedication. But it needs to be time that you want to dedicate to it. Now, for the little errors that we can have, even though we did the top coat, we did the drying, sometimes you go to bed, don't do your nails late in the day. You think you're done, but you're not. You think they're dry, but they're actually not dry. Even with the nail drops, I've shown you some really good ones from the Dollar Tree. But even with all of that, sometimes the crease of the sheets will press down and create nail creases on your nails. So you get up in the morning going, oh no, my nails are ruined. Well, I got a tip for you. Put a clear coat of nail polish on top of the crease. It'll wipe it right out. Truthfully, I've done it multiple times, thinking that I was okay when I wasn't. And another thing, when you're putting the nail polish on for the first coat, don't go too heavy, because the first coat is the first coat. The second coat will take care of the first coat, and that's when you get your true nail polish, the essence of the color from the second coat. Now I'm ready to go. I hope it was helpful, ladies. And again, purpose, balance, and joy. Have a good night. And enjoy your manicures.